She's at a place in her life where peace is a priority and negativity cannot exist. She's no longer matching energy. She's simply removing herself from any situation that doesn't vibrate her soul. So if you start moving funny, she's moving on.
What's up, my Finna love? Sisters Finna D coming to you all from Finna Team News.
She's an icon, she's a legend, and she is the moment.
If I hear you say, Kenya, one more time, I will start a petition to fire you off the show. We waited in vain for you to get a peach. Your hate for Kenya is so obsessive, and I can't believe anyone can make Kenya so lovable. Is it jealousy? Girl, you need to heal because Kenya is paying you zero mind, like you are beneath her. What an embarrassment. I'm so disappointed I supported you. Grow up and heal.
Oh my God.
She's mad obsessed in a creepy way. Preach and amen. As you can see, this person wrote it all. So no, I will not be spending this entire video reading tweets about Marlo or comments from Instagram about Marlo being obsessed with Kenya, because at this point I would just be sounding repetitive because I did an entire video and review last week reading comments for over 10 minutes. So we get it. We're all aware that Marlo is creepy and is weird and is obsessed with Kenya. And like I said in that review, Kenya needs to have security because it's becoming scary. And something I've also been saying for a long time, and Kenya is now repeating it too. I'm going to insert a clip from a video I did a little over a year ago when this image was posted because Brooklyn was in it. This is what I said. Get away from our Brooklyn, you demon. I was just all jokes, but that's really sad when you can sit there and basically drag a woman who's been wanting a child for a very long time, and then she finally gives birth, and you're over here saying that it's not her baby and she wasn't pregnant, all of that. But I get it. Kenya decided to move on, so we will move on. However, Marlo, I'm still giving you the side eye. And of course, I was right for saying that when it comes to giving Marlo the side eye, because here we are, okay? Marlo is back to her old ways. Now, I know Bravo been showing a little short clip here of Marlo saying Kenya wasn't pregnant, but Marlo went beyond that. So in as much as I have played these clips so much to the point where they are blurry from the constant repost, Marlo went deeper than just saying, oh, Kenya isn't pregnant. So excuse the loud background music. When I did this originally, I thought it was low, but it was a little loud, but you could still hear what Marlo is saying. Most of you have seen this, but let's run it back. Even though the part about Kenya and Marlo conversation happened later in the episode, I'm choosing to talk about some of it here, and then I will move on to what came next. And then at the end of the video, when it comes to that segment, we will talk more about it. So let's get into those clips. Just a refresher.
Bravo, Steven, everybody. Please, just so that y'all won't be getting this girl this money and thinking that she's pregnant, have her come up there and pee on the EPT. She need to pee on the stick. You need to have her go in the bathroom. She need to make sure she don't have nothing on. She need to just be naked. Kenya's so sick, she might have it in her ears. Have her just naked, gloves on, just like she's taking a drug test, and pee on the stick before she been to con somebody about being pregnant. Lord, and if she plan on that, I'd be so mad.
No.
Listen, I don't owe her an apology. I still don't think she's pregnant until I see that she's pregnant. If she is pregnant, I wish her nothing but the best. She may be pregnant. She may be pregnant. But listen, that could be a fake stomach. They got fake blood stomachs everywhere. She had fake man, so I wouldn't be surprised. No, but I mean, if she is, I wish her nothing but the best. We're gonna see that long. Let's wait and see if we see a little baby come. Baby come, I wish her nothing but the best. Until then, I don't like.
Marlo also said in another Instagram live, which I'm not going to go dig up and post, because these are the reasons why, apart from having issues with YouTube sometimes, these are the reasons why my reviews are late. By the time I'm done screenshotting different tweets, going back to videos of over a year ago to find clips, by the time I do all of that, when I could have just simply talked about what happened, give my review, and then maybe come back and do a detailed recap, it's like a week late and I'm like, hey, my review. So I'm not digging up that clip. But Marlo did say that she won't be surprised that after Kenya gets paid for an entire season, just to come back and say, hey, I had a miscarriage, because she was never pregnant in the first place. So when you have someone who sat on the same platform and cried about her issues and talking about wanting to have kids and all of that, when you have someone then project their insecurities on you, and for someone to be that hateful, for you to be brave enough to bring them in your home and have them around your child, it's like, what are you doing, girl? And I said that in all of those videos. So I'm happy, once again, I already said this too, that Marlo is showing her, you know what? Because I would rather Marlo do this than to pretend to be Kenya more friend, and for Kenya to bring her in her home with all that jealousy around the very child that she said Kenya was never having. So here are some tweets and comments of Kenya agreeing with everything I've said. Please never have little Brooklyn around Marlo. She is dangerous. Kenya responded, never. Kenya also retweeted this one. I wouldn't want Brooklyn in the same house as crazy Marlo. Marlo is so toxic and reckless with her mouth. If she can tell her teenage nephews to get the bleep out, Marlo is capable of disrespecting Kenya in front of her daughter, Brooklyn. Marlo doesn't care. Hashtag RHA. And Kenya retweeted this. Now, I'm going to say one more thing about this whole situation, and then I'm going to get back on track, because this whole Kenya and Marlo situation happened after other events happened on their trip. So I want to get back on track to talk about that, and then I'm going to revisit this whole Kenya and Marlo situation, because Kenya did put Marlo in her place. Now, remember, all of this started, before Brooklyn was even born. And at that time back then, Kenya used to check her DMs. Now, she's no longer checking her DMs. I'm sure most of you who have seen her Instagram lives, you've heard her say that she doesn't check her DMs. It's just too much. And I don't blame her. Back then, when she was checking her DMs, and she also followed me on Instagram, she knew about all of these videos, okay? All of these Instagram lives, she was aware. And she even talked about it at the reunion, that reunion when Portia made a comment that after your long speech, and some of us were confused because we were like, what long speech? Portia made that comment because Kenya gave her long speech about all of the lies Marlo has told on her, especially when it comes to Brooklyn. And Marlo sat there and said, it's a lie. She's never talked about Kenya Moore's daughter. And Andy and the producers at that time decided to cut that entire segment out. That's the reason why this season, Marlo is so comfortable to say, there's a few things I do not do. I don't talk about people's kids, their marriages, even though she's talking about Mark Daly. But let's go back to the kids situation, because production protected her and wiped out that entire segment on the reunion. So she thought production was going to have her back again, because in her head, okay, so I said it on social media. A few people got to see it, but on TV, it's going out to millions. And as long as the millions don't get to see it, who cares about who saw it on social media? She did not know whoever that is at production this season was going to have Kenya Moore back the way that they do. So yes, you're welcome for all the days that I sat on here talking about the bias editing and people saying, okay, come on now, Kenya Moore contributed to her own. And I always say what I just said. I never said Kenya Moore was or is a saint. I just said if production showed things correctly, then everybody would have a fair shot. But before we go any further, let me just quickly say this. You see the images on the screen. If you click the very first link in the description below, you can watch this segment on Kandi, Kenya, Brooklyn, and Blaze. That moment was the opening scene of the episode. It was so beautiful, and I did not want to, mess up that adorable moment with the mess I'm talking about right now, and Marlo just being, like Kenya said, toxic. Let's move on to the boys' room. Those little boys are still in school, and bullying and all of these things are going on. But like I said, Marlo wants to prove a point so bad that I was right for doing what I did to them. So if I can continue to expose them and all of the negative things they have done to prove my point, that's what I'm going to do. So we're back in the boys' room. She's showing her sister Crystal the room and how dirty it is. And she's showing the before and after and the hole in the wall again and all of these different things. And they're having a conversation. And they talk about Michael might need to go to anger management for punching a hole in the wall. She talked about, taking care of Crystal. And, you watch the episode, you know what happened. There's just certain parts I want to focus on. So forgive me if I'm jumping around. And then Crystal checks Marlo. I love people like this. Look, I'm your sis, but I'm going to keep it real with you. I don't care about the check you just wrote, okay? Or the check you're going to write for me in this one. I don't care. I have to keep it real with you. Watch how you talk to the boys. You can't be saying things like, I'm tired of y'all and I don't have to take care of y'all. You can't be saying things like that after they have heard it from their own mother. Okay, so let's speed up through this part. Kandi calls Marlo to tell her that Kenya isn't coming. She's pretending to not care, but her face, her facial expressions are not matching her words, because who else is she going to go after? And she also wants her trip to pop, and she wants drama. So she's pretending, but she knows she wants Kenya there. Sheree, trying on the boots or whatever she was wearing, broke her toes. And this is what lead people to make accusations. I'm not going to be one of those people. But there's no way you can ask Sheree, why can't two black sisters just get along? And how did Kenya and I get here? Really? Did you really ask Sheree that question? Huh? How did we get here? How did we get here? Like, really? I'm speechless. After everything you've done, you're really surprised that you and Kenya, you know what? Let me just move on. I wish you all could have seen my face when she asked Sheree that dumb question. This is where being a real friend matters. Because I don't know if, maybe production cut some things out. Because right at that point, I would have been like, really? I'm your girl, but child, you bring up her soon-to-be ex-husband every chance you get. You've done this. You body shame her. I would have gone down the list because, Sheree, you've been right there when Marlo been doing all of these things in Kenya's presence. But anyways, let's move on. Y'all already know Kandi Burruss does not play about her food. So when that lady was like, y'all can eat in this car, Kandi's face was everything, okay? She's a tourist. I'm a tourist. We don't play about food. They went inside, ate their food, got back in the car, went on their way. They get to the house, not a cabin, that Bravo rented for them. Of course, Marlo starts playing a game with them to get their rooms. Whatever she had out there to describe Kenya, she was describing herself. The girls got their rooms. They all around the table having conversations, joking with Drew, telling her that, the mood is going to change when Sonia comes. Eventually, Kenya shows up. And now let's get to Kenya and Marlo conversation. When Kenya walked in the room, the energy changed, and not in a negative way. It only became negative when Marlo insisted to make it negative, okay? And that's when Kenya called her out and basically, gave her speech. We're going to get to that. But you saw the excitement, the celebration. She didn't like that. Everyone was happy when Kenya walked in the room because, like I said, there's something about Kenya Moore's presence in her spirit, not just what she looks like on the outside being a beautiful and stunning Christian woman, but there's something that is so beautiful and genuine and amazing about her spirit that when she walks in the room, people instantly gravitate towards her and she becomes the center of attention without even trying. And someone with the spirit of Marlo will easily get jealous. I mean, look at her face when Kenya walked in the room. And that's the house in person you want Kenya to bring Brooklyn around. And I'm glad that she called Kandi out. She reminded Kandi, I love you, girl, but I'm going to keep it real. The last time I brought my child in the same house on a girls trip, you all made a big deal. If the new episode comes out and Kenya ends up being in that house with Brooklyn, it's not because of Marlo putting her foot down. Marlo doesn't have that type of power. It's because of production. It's a job. And Kenya showed up for her check. Just because your name is on the trip doesn't mean I'm not going to come and make this money. At the end of the day, it's a job. But am I going to tolerate you because we have a job to do and my coins depend on it? Heck yeah, I'm coming on that trip. So I'm here for Kenya having her own place. Of course, Kenya knows and knew where Brooklyn was. So I'm here for Kenya not wanting to bring Brooklyn around Marlo. So after Marlo kept interrupting Kenya and being disrespectful, when she finally decided to shut her mouth, Kenya said, basically, Marlo is not being sincere with this whole I want to be a friend and let's get along. And Kenya said, my issue with you is that I feel like everything about you is not sincere. When you say things like you want to be everyone's friend, but you are the worst friend here, that's not sincere. You are not a friend. You don't know how to be a friend. Be a friend. You don't know how to love. So if it's the love that you are saying that you have for me, I don't want that kind of love because it's not healthy love. It's toxic love. So no, Marlo, you don't get no more chances with me because what you say is BS. And you watched the episode, you know the rest. But it was how calm Kenya was. And Marlo attempted to respond. And we already know it fell flat. She was giving Kenya compliments and people couldn't even figure out if they were real or fake. But at least she was honest with a few things. Like I've been saying, she looks up to Kenya. She admires Kenya. She seeks validation from Kenya. And when she feels like Kenya isn't giving her the response that she's looking for, then she becomes this insecure little girl and lash out. And she's not a little girl, but she's still inside that little girl mindset. And that's why she needs counseling. And hopefully with counseling, she can start taking ownership of her part in it. And stop saying, my childhood, my childhood. You are grown enough to know better. Yes, I'm aware that things happen and, it's not easy to get over. And it's not easy to get over, but you are in your 40s. You know better, okay? So do better. And then, of course, she blamed her mom and negative things that her mom said. And that's why she's this way. But she's going to save all of her negative moments for Kenya. And I'm like, there you go, dragging Kenya in your mess again. Like I said, she needs help. There's more that happened, but I'm just going to save it. I'm going to probably do social media reactions to other things, so I will talk about it in that video. I'm wishing all of you well and take care. And here my final loves. Thank you all for your love and support. If you're not subscribed to the channel, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Go ahead and leave this video a thumbs up. Also turn on notifications so when I do post, you're aware that I posted. And I will see you all in the comment section. Remember to always have the God bless attitude, which is being positive at all times and seeing the good in every situation. Have a great day, guys. God bless.